I like how you think, Merv.
What?
What's holding you back? You don't have a seam taper.
Yeah, that's
Seam taper.
See, you can
I'm
say
telling
that. Or a good website. You guys are just into this thing to make some money
on membrane systems
Sponsored by
seems
Sponsored
to end your roofing days.
Sponsor the day.
What is this? Commercial roofing websites. Okay, yeah.
And they even sponsor.
Hey, look at
cameras,
this.
Everything.
They sponsor the
I think it's probably their camera too. Actually, I wonder if it's not even their microphones.
Yeah, it is. Commercial roofing websites. I mean, I know the owner of the company really well,
Really?
and I'd highly recommend him.
Seriously.
He may or may not be sitting at this table with a black shirt on. Probably the only one with a black shirt now.
Yeah. Well, I have heard that there's a lot of scammy websites out there.
There is.
And so there's definitely a markup for really good websites. Definitely.
I had a guy, I will say this, Owen, we didn't talk about this off the mics here, but I had a guy tell me yesterday he got you to build a website and he had got 5 really good leads last year. And he spent no money advertising the website. You just built it and he paid you to just whatever it is to host it. And he got 5 really good leads. You should probably be getting like a little commission on those leads or something.
That's what I love to hear. You almost bring me to tears. I love the
Thanks for
website.
tuning into this week's episode.
My name's Owen Shrock.
Welcome to the Roof Coating Contractor Podcast, where ambitious entrepreneurs discover how to launch and grow a profitable commercial roof coating business. Whether starting up or ready to scale, you'll hear proven strategies and insider secrets to succeed in the booming commercial roofing market.
My name's Elias Raber.
And I'm Mervin.
Going back to 2011, July, hot summer day, I remember driving through, I think it was Indianapolis, because there's this one curve on the interstate going west where you come around this long curve. We had our minivan cruising west, my wife and I, and it was a hot summer day, and I remember coming around that curve. Every time I go through there, I remember July 2011. Anyway, it's on the way home from this business seminar training. We listened to an audio by a man named Bob Conklin. He used to be an owner of a Conklin company.
Mm-hmm.
His message was, make no little plans, for there is no magic in them to stir men's souls. In other words, make big plans, not little plans, make big plans. Because big plans, like they stir up the emotion, they stir you into activity. So my wife and I talked about this. Like, what are some big plans? What is a big plan? And at the time, we had lots of credit card debt, about $140,000 worth.
Oh, wow.
By the time we got done there. So we decided we need to generate at least 6 figures in income. And so we said we need $1 million in volume in order to make this happen. We need $1 million. And our big dream was $1 million. Then we went home, got to work. And it happened over time. Now, looking back, I've wondered more than once, what if we would have gone for 5 million, 10 million? Like really dream big and not play it safe, play it dangerous, I guess, when it comes to dreaming. I know that would have made a big difference. I guess my question is, playing it safe. What are some things that roofers might be doing today that they're actually playing safe? They're comfortable.
Before we go there, men need big goals. Men need to dream big. Men are the most the happiest when we're dreaming big, when we have big goals and when we're setting those things. And the happiness of a man is not determined by how much money he has in the bank, but if you're moving the right direction towards those dreams and goals. If men aren't achieving or working towards those things, if you're not winning, literally like in a man, his testosterone levels will literally drop. But if you're winning and you're moving the right direction, it boosts testosterone in a man. And men need this to win. Men need to win to feel those things, to feel alive and you feel like, man, I could conquer the world. And I think we all know what it feels like to feel that. And then we all know what it feels like to maybe live in a place where maybe things aren't going so well. And so I think it's a really good subject to talk about, is that you got to have goals, you got to have dreams. And if you're not clear on what is my goal? You said yours was $1 million, Owen. You need to get clear on what that is. Get really clear. Maybe it's a $2.5 million roofing company or $1 million team or whatever it is. Get really clear on that. Even just getting clear on that is a win.
So recently I heard this thought that what you constantly think about, it creates a familiar environment in your mind. And your mind doesn't really know the difference between reality and what it feels as a regular, familiar environment. I think this even starts in that because what you constantly think about, the way you think, dictates a lot in where you actually live life.
100%.
Yeah, I agree 100%. I experienced it this summer with basically my wife and I. Like we manifested a new house. I mean, it's not a new house, but for us it is. Like we literally did. Like we were like, okay, this is what we want. We want 4-bedroom house on a couple acres, flat yard, blacktop road, and it happened. And we wanted it by fall. And it was literally like it exactly happened in that scenario where if you like this might not be going down the roofing road necessarily, but it's in all areas of life. If you get specific and you're like, this is what we want, we're gonna like that was our goal was we're working towards this. The random way it actually came about is remarkable. Like to where it's just like it literally just happened.
But it didn't just happen because you got really clear on your target.
Yeah.
I like to hunt. Do you think any of this in here would happen if I'm not clear on my target? Like
Sure.
I grab my bow and I go in the mountain. I'm like, I'm not exactly sure what I'm looking for. You see a rabbit move and you start shooting arrows and you're like, oh no, I don't even have a tag for that. I'm not sure if I wasn't clear on my target. But the reason that you accomplished what you were after is because you got really clear on your target. And then when that came up, you're like, that's exactly what we're looking for.
Yeah.
But if you hadn't been clear on your target, you may have actually missed that property because you didn't really know what you were looking for.
Yeah, that's a good point. And another good point to bring out on it is I was vocal about what I'm looking for.
Mhm.
Like, because if I hadn't been, so Rudy actually was the one that's like, hey, this place is going to go up for auction over here. And it's pretty much exactly what you've been saying you want. I didn't know about it.
But
So,
you
like,
talked to other people about it.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's like I didn't know this was coming up for sale. I would have never even been there if someone else wouldn't have known
Yeah,
what I'm
that's
looking
great.
for. So like let people know what your goals
That's
and dreams
exactly
are.
right.
And I think that'll actually help lead you toward it because they'll support you with it.
100%. So back to your question.
What are roofers doing? And every contractor can ask this question, of themselves. But what are some things top of mind? You work with a lot of contractors. I work with a bunch as well. What are a few things that they might be playing safe? They're comfortable.
If you missed the Leadership Essentials seminar, you can now get the full recordings, plus a whole list of solid bonuses. That includes a 4-week live Zoom masterclass on sales and closing using the 4 Natures framework, so you understand how different people think, decide, and buy. Check it out at smarterroofer.com/lead and grab the Leadership Essentials recordings, the upcoming live masterclass by Elias Raber, and more. That's smarterroofer.com/lead.
First thing that comes to my mind is not delegating. Early on in your business, you don't delegate. You got to go do everything yourself because it is just you. I think that's something that there is a risk associated with delegating because as a business owner, I think I can do that better than hiring it out. And maybe you can do it better, but you can't do everything better, not delegating certain things in your business that maybe they just don't play in your strong suit. Delegate that out.
So is there a certain level? Because I've had this conversation, in fact, just last week. Is there a certain level where people find out, like, where is that dividing line? Because a lot of contractors we work with, they do very well up to maybe around $1 million by themselves, maybe 2 helpers, 2 part-time helpers, maybe 3, a couple employees, maybe tops. But they like to grow. So at what point where's that define that line?
I would say when you feel like some things are starting to fall through the cracks, that's a really good time to look for somebody to help you in an aspect of your business that you're not maybe that good at. For me, I am at best average in an office. Like I'm not good in office when it comes to, keeping track of everything, even like writing estimates, writing emails. It's not my strong suit.
Let me interject here. You are really good at making estimates using ChatGPT.
Yeah, it's exactly what I was going to say.
Some of those PDF estimates.
I've become better
You've
thanks
sold
to
jobs often using ChatGPT. It's amazing.
Yeah, I've become better at like writing something up that looks like Owen would have wrote it up because Owen is very, very talented when it comes to putting the words together, putting all the right separations in, all the spaces in, you put the right, everything in that makes it easy to read. Personally, my strong suit is I enjoy to go out and visit with people and I love to sell and I'm a people person. I'm not your detailed, organized naturally. That's not my strong suit. And so for me, delegating some of that out to give me more time to do the things that I enjoy early on, I didn't understand any of this early on when we started in business. I just thought I have to do it all. And then at some point, I remember my wife going, "Can't we just have normal business hours like everybody else does? You're still in the office at 8 or 9 o'clock at night, and she's putting the children to bed by herself or whatever." And I'm like, "Yeah, but I have to do this. Like nobody else is going to do it for us." And so understanding that there's a lot of really good people around you that might be looking for that opportunity, give them a chance, bring them in. And what you're going to find, especially if you delegate that part of your business out that you're not good at, you find somebody that is good at, they're going to do a better job than you are in that aspect. And it releases you from all the aspects of like, you don't have to carry it all on your own shoulders.
Yeah, I've actually heard a lot of people that are looking to delegate, one of their biggest concerns, if you want to say, is, man, I wish I could find someone like me. Like if I could just find someone like me that I could get to do this stuff. But then I'm thinking, why do you want them like you?
That's exactly right.
Like you want them to be somewhat different because you want the stuff you procrastinate because you don't want to do it. You want that to be fun to them.
100%.
So I don't know, maybe that's something that you could shift, is don't look for someone like you. Look for someone that's different than you, that's talented in the areas that you're like.
100%.
There's actually a book on that called Rocket Fuel. The author, he broke down there's two groups of people. There's the dreamers, the big thinkers, the visionaries, and then they call them the integrators. Those are the people that actually, they totally thrive. They love getting in, just making sure everything's working perfect. Like they love it. Like they jump out of bed and that's what they want to do. I'd say that's one way to figure out, where's the person, what type of person do I need to fill that spot? Integrator or visionary. And I know some roofers, they own the company, but they're the one on the roof actually installing product because they love that. And then they have a sales guy, out there doing sales. So find out where that spot is and then find out the type of person you need.
Yeah, if you go to, most roofing business owners and you ask them what they think they're worth, you're probably going to get at least $100 an hour. They're going to be like, "Oh, I'm at least worth $100 an hour, maybe $500 an hour." But you rarely are going to get somebody that owns a roofing company that says, "Oh, they're worth less than $100 an hour." But most of them, if you actually stop and you think about what you're doing, a lot of these guys are still doing $25 to $35 an hour work. And so if you can bring somebody in and have them do your $30 an hour work for you, and you know that when you're on the road selling jobs and you're keeping stuff there, now you're worth $1,000 an hour, maybe more than that, because you're doing what's the most important. And, you have to ask yourself that question. Maybe you're a brand new guy thinking, well, I'm not there. How does a brand new guy play it safe? What's a brand new guy doing?
Everything.
Yeah. Playing it safe. What does that look like? Because we're talking about companies.
Well, a brand new guy really can't afford to play it safe. I mean, you have to go all in. Because if you do play it safe, you're trying to start a business and just play it safe totally, it's going to be tough. You have to take, I think, for new contractors, you have to take a lot more risk than someone that's established.
Yeah, for
to
sure.
be successful.
Yep.
To get the ball rolling.
Maybe for a new guy playing it safe, the issue might not be not delegating. The issue might be in what we do is commercial roofing. You have to advertise for it. You got to get out there for it. Maybe thinking, I remember my first couple years, the first year we spent very little money advertising and it showed. The next year we spent, this was 16, 17 years ago. The next year we spent, if I remember right, about $15,000 in advertising. And that was a lot of money for us. But we sold like a lot of jobs that year. You look back, still today, we get jobs from those clients still today. And it's like, just thinking small and being like, well, I can't afford to. You got to figure out how to.
So stop playing it safe. Take some risk, maybe calculated risk. If you're a newer contractor, maybe it's more risk. Stop playing it safe. Dream big.
Make them goals pretty big. Get clear.
Bigger than 1 million for sure.
Yeah, bigger than 1 million. If you're married, sit down with your spouse and make sure you guys are on the same page. So you guys are you're working towards those goals and you're not having to explain to your wife, especially if you're a new guy and you're starting, you're not having to explain to your wife all the time why you're doing something or maybe why you're putting so much time in right now. Because you got to both get on the same page and get really clear. Maybe you're like, we need $1.5 million roofing company. Okay, get really clear and then spell it out. How would our life look differently if we had $1.5 million company? I had a guy text me literally while we were sitting here And I got to talk to him this afternoon. And he came to a meeting we did Saturday. And he's really clear right now. He said, he's got 9 kids. I have to get out of the house we're in because they're living in a trailer home with 9 kids. And I don't know how old they are, but they're all probably under 15 years old. He got really clear. He said that we can't not make this happen this year. We have to make this happen this year. How are we going to make it happen? And so we broke down some really simple steps that he has to do to make that happen this year. And that's his goal. And honestly, I figure he'll do it this year because he got really clear on what he wants. And so you have to get really clear on what you want.
I heard something a couple of days ago. Focus on the reward and not the work, and then you won't procrastinate.
Oh, yeah.
So I thought that, because sometimes if I focus on the work and it's boring, it's easy to procrastinate on it. And so I was like, man, but that's a good point. If you focus on the reward, why am I even doing it?
Yep.
And if it's worth doing because of the reward, that'll motivate you to kind of overlook all the hard stuff you got to get over.
For sure.
Focused on why.
If you guys make some big dreams and goals, send them into Owen or send them to me. Love to see them.
Or put them in the comments.
Yeah. Put them in the
If you're
comments.
really serious, if you want to take a risk, really serious, put them in the comments.
If you missed the Leadership Essentials seminar, you can now get the full recordings, plus a whole list of solid bonuses. That includes a 4-week live Zoom masterclass on sales and closing using the 4 Natures framework, so you understand how different people think, decide, and buy. Check it out at smarterroofer.com/lead and grab the Leadership Essentials recordings, the upcoming live masterclass by Elias Raber, and more. That's smarterroofer.com/lead.